We've had 40-degree days 3 days straight now, so we're just fucking
Oh, man.
Dry heat, though.
dry.
Having a nice,
So dry.
the driest of heat.
Well, how'd you get your kids to bed for a start? Let's start there.
I handballed them to my wife.
Right. What's she going to do about it?
I'm still not sure. No, two of them are in bed. The other one's given lip, so he's being shepherded away as we speak.
What do they want?
Oh,
What is their problem? What do these...
they just don't want to go to bed. That's it. They don't actually want anything. They just don't want to go to bed.
But what's the goddamn problem?
It's fucking hot.
Well, what's standing around getting your face going to do about that?
Yeah, Buckland, you're preaching to the converted. That's what I said to him. I said, what are you doing standing around getting in my face about it?
That's right. That's why that's the best part about being 6'5", I guess.
Mate, fucking hell. My two boys are nearly there.
They're coming at you. Yeah.
They are fucking coming at me hard and tall.
Jesus.
All right.
It's ridiculous.
Well, hello. Yes, Dad Pants. That's what this is. And look, we almost didn't have an episode going on here. I'll be clear with you right from the outset. Because it's December. And December dads are busy dads.
Mm-hmm.
We had, what did we have? We had an unexpected school concert.
Indeed.
And we had an unexpected wedgie situation, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I feel like the wedgie situation would have been a little bit more expected than the Christmas concert, even though it's Christmas time.
Absolutely.
Yes. And this was all happening a couple of hours ago, but these things are sent to challenge us. And December dads come through, I think.
December dads.
I'm with the Pants panel, though. Hello, fellas.
Hi, Stu.
Hello. G'day, Stu.
Oh, Rich, you sound maudlin, fella.
Sorry.
December Maudlin.
December dad. December dad voice.
But December teacher dad, let's clarify. Let's be clear there.
I had my school where I teach at graduation last night, and then the preschool graduation tonight. And the sucky thing about it, we've got preschool and kindergarten to go to, so we've got like double the farewells there and concerts. It's just
Double maudlin.
Double maudlin. And then they do a Christmas party as well. It's like, come on, guys. Let's talk to each other and just do it once and get it done. It's just dragging it out. It's like 4 different events.
We have a lot of content on this show, and I don't really have time to ask this question, but I'm gonna. What's the fucking point of preschool graduation? Please.
I know. Look,
Who's
well,
it for?
to be fair,
Who
to be
cares?
fair, he's been there for 4 years. So it's a fair, when you're a 5-year-old, that's a big chunk of your life.
It's a big thing.
It's a big chunk of your life. So what?
But is he going to remember it in a couple of years' time?
Oh, shit. No.
Well, what are we wasting our time for?
I don't know. Good.
I mean, ours, like I was involved heavily, obviously.
It was a nice speech you wrote, though, Stu. That was good.
I don't know. I guess I'm just getting a bit frustrated for you. It's got nothing to do with me, really.
It's all good. It's all good. He enjoyed himself. That's the most important thing.
Now you're making me look bad.
Well, my daughter, Wiggo's son, we're about to graduate primary school, year 6. When
Dylan?
did you have a graduation on the weekend, Wiggins, or was it just preparation on the weekend?
There was some preparation on the weekend. Then we had a Monday night graduation party.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, okay, so this is a real double-edged sword here because I've just been given news, like breaking news, 4 minutes before we decided to record.
Oh.
So I'm just going to shoehorn this in right here because it works. Monday night graduation party. Tonight, end of year concert. Next Tuesday, graduation day.
What?
Right?
Come on.
So with all of this stuff that's been organised, and it's so painful. Like, it's just like, I don't want to go. Like, it's great that you're graduating. That's wonderful. But, I've got podcasts to do.
Get it done.
There are...
Let's get it done.
Well, yeah, so you wanted to play Would You
Why drag it
Rather?
out?
You're not going to win.
Exactly. But the parents that have organised a lot of this stuff have also organised the perfect teacher gift
Okay.
for end of year. Basically, they just got everyone to chip in and gave Lynn's a gift card, just an e-gift card with X amount of dollars on it. And it was like, they're finally someone's figured out that that's actually what teachers want at the end of the year. They don't want candles.
Yeah.
They don't want cards. They don't want cheese boards. You want one cheese board,
Right,
maybe.
with cheese on it or just the board?
Just the board.
Yeah, no. Who cares
think
about the
that
board? Where's the cheese at?
I completely agree with the caveat that we have to, well, I'm not sure about Lindsay's situation and I don't want to get into any legal trouble. We have to be very careful with any gifts over $50. So when
yes.
I actually had a similar situation where I had parents chip in and it was a lovely gesture and it was a significant figure, like in a couple of $100. And I was forced to redonate it back to the school because I declared it and it was over the $50 limit. So I wasn't actually allowed to. And they were really angry about that. Like, they basically said, that's ridiculous. So, yes.
Why didn't they just break it up into small?
Well, this
what you
is
do,
the thing. You're better off getting
Great question.
your $20 donations, your $50 donations rather than... But gift cards all the way.
Would it be
Completely
okay
agree
if it was a card that just had like poker machine credit on it?
Well, then you got to decide which place you got to get the credit at because it's not transferable.
Right.
So yeah. Sorry, Matthew, you were gonna make a point, and then we ended up on pokey credit.
What if they just handed you a phone and they just said, "Look, I'm on the pokes. I've just won $58. What do I go?
50.
If you win, then you get it all, etc." Spades, yeah,
So-
whatever.
Hang on, but Rich can't like. Maybe I shouldn't ask this because it might. You can tell me cut this out if you like. But what you're down there in the Sunraysia? Can't you just meet him, at midnight in a vineyard with trench coats on, and they slip you the gifts, and you just hide it under your coat and skulk away?
Stuart, let me tell you, the gifts that you receive at midnight between the vines, that is not being declared to anyone. Trust me, mate. That's a long-held tradition within the Sunraysia, which we did not discuss.
No words spoken.
You may
There
run
is not
into
a word
several
spoken about that
politicians
one.
in the
Yeah,
area.
that's right. Bit of Al Grosby action down there as well. No, I would never suggest that Al Grosby was involved in
Okay.
organised crime.
Midnight Between the Vines is the current title.
That's pretty nice.
It'll be bested
Pretty nice.
at some point, perhaps.
I
but
don't
that's
know.
what we're
It's lyrical.
Sounds like a Creedence song.
All right, listen, we've got a lot to do. I need some updates before we get into fresh content. We can't get in fresh content without updating old content. So first and foremost, Rasputin update. How is your dad, Mark?
He is very alive and has already been on a trip to Melbourne
Jeez.
and has got his license back. So
Oh, that's quick.
1 month. One month
right.
he needed to be stroke free, and he's done it.
Jeez.
So well done, Mark.
He did No Stroke November.
Correct.
I might move on. I'm glad
The title?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yep. Please pass
for
that
coming
on
back.
to your father. We go. I'm sure he'd love it.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming back, Rich. Ooh. All right, so we're very glad to hear he's doing well.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
All right, nipple flick update. Your last time we heard that your son was surprising you with nipple flicks. Did you escalate?
I have not escalated.
Has he escalated?
There's been no escalation on my behalf, and he is weapons down as well. We're at an impasse.
Armistice.
Ceasefire.
A humanitarian pause.
That's a good say.
Did something happen, or is it like that first year of World War I at Christmas time when the French put their arms down and just went out there and sort of exchanged gifts and played a bit of soccer?
Well, it depends on which side you're describing me as.
Oh, German, of course.
Oh,
Yeah, it's big Kaiser energy.
Big Aryan bastard with
Big pointy helmet.
I don't know if the Germans are as positive as I am, but anyway, that's another story.
It sounds to me like he's the aggressor, though, so surely he's Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Ellis. And
You're much more
yeah,
French.
good point. Sorry, yeah.
Defending your territory.
there are definitely. I think there may very well have just been a complete loss of memory for him in regards to that. In regards to that attack, he's just.
But isn't that a
he's
perfect
swept it
time
under
for
the
you
carpet.
Isn't that a perfect time for you to get him then if he's forgotten?
Yeah, mate. Oh, hey, don't worry about me.
Can I suggest something?
Yep.
Christmas lunch.
Oh,
Reach across. You're pretending you're going for a chicken leg or something, and just keep going until you grab it.
The Christmas Schlieffen plan.
Yeah, that's right.
Start at the nipple and then go for the nuts.
Okay, there we go. That's what we've got so far. That's the title. All right. Let me give you a quick sliding doors dad update.
Oh, yep.
There was a little period there where it looked like he wasn't going to be so single and happy and spending happily. But then the other day I saw him in a shirt, and you're going to think I'm making this up, but I'm not. His shirt was a picture of B. Arthur throwing up a gang sign.
Nice.
Oh, this very much is you sliding doors, Buckland.
I'm telling you. B. Arthur throwing up a gang sign. Now, apparently it has something to do with a band. He told me the band. I instantly forgot the band because I didn't care. It was all about B. Arthur being a gangster.
So
there you go.
Part of this band, a new band, it'd be Arthur.
Thank you for being a friend. You know that's what was happening.
hopefully they open with that.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, like a punk version.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I've done there? I'm nicely sliding into the next bit of content, going from B. Arthur into something Matt wanted to talk about. Matt?
I did. This is what, Dad, sitcom land, where I found myself. I did message you boys here recently about this. Was just sometimes where you find yourself like, what am I doing? I'm bloody a 90s sitcom dad all of a sudden. Just my wife points out that all our pavers out the back are all unruly. And I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that one is sticking up. I'll just dig it out and see if there's a tree root under it and then see what's going on. No tree root. Oh, good. I'll just smooth that out and put the thing back in like it's a jigsaw piece. And then that doesn't work, strangely enough, because that's the whole issue. That's why you've got buckled pavers, because there's no give. And, yeah, I dug up 12 enormous pavers in the end. And I spent 2 hours trying to put one paver back in. And when that didn't work and I broke the paver, these are big ones too. These are pretty thick, I guess 2 feet by 2 feet. And, after I broke one of them, I dug up 12, smoothed it out, put them all back in about 30 minutes. So the rest of the time was just trying to put one back in the original place. I could have just done the easy thing and just dug them all up and smoothed it, put it back down. And I was just like, this is just like a friggin' sitcom. Oh, I'll fix it, it'll be easy. And then next thing, there's holes in the wall and my wife's like, are you still doing
3-week arc.
Yeah, push a paver down, another one pops up.
That's right, all that stuff. The neighbours leaning over the fence.
Yeah, some dickhead neighbours sticking his face up, but not too far.
No,
can't see the lower half
a
of
little
his
bit.
face.
Just a
What you
little
doing there, neighbour?
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter comes out about 8 times and says, why don't you just dig up the whole pavers? Oh, you don't know anything. I've got this big, all that stuff. And they're all, shut the fuck up. That's a different episode where he loses it. So, yeah, I was like, how did this happen? How did I stupidly just turn into sitcom dad all of a sudden?
You know what that makes me think of? And I was going to say it earlier when Ben was talking about being annoyed at having to go to stuff, is that, this is ostensibly as a podcast where we talk about dad matters and try and resolve dad issues and maybe even give out a bit of advice if we got it.
Was Dad Matters the crossover between Home Improvement and Family Matters?
Well, they had to have a dad off to see who ended up being the dad.
I think it was the sequel to Ghost Dad in Family Matters.
Well, no, but
Carl Winslow.
Ghost Dad went to jail, so
Shot Ghost Dad.
Rightly so.
Oh, you're saying he gave Carl
And
Winslow.
then gave him a cup of coffee. And no.
Okay. I don't think this means anything to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is like that's what the podcast is meant to be, but it ends up just
Meant to
being
be.
like a dad whinge session. So I don't know. Is that good?
I don't know. What's the whinge, you mean? The whinge is me. It's not anyone else.
No. But but I'm saying that's what we do. We just end up whinging.
Oh, right.
And does it help anybody?
Oh, no. That's not what dads are about. Are we about helping people?
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off.
Stop
The clapper.
Let you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off.
Stop
The clapper.
Clapper is available at Meyer, Perry, Hills, and Osco.
Got a Christmas story to tell, and you really want to tell it well. Get it, don't forget it, on Kodak film. You'll feel better when you say I got it.
Every picture tells a story. Capture the color of Christmas this year on fresh Kodak film.
I got it!
I gotta say I got it.
I got it!
Kodak wishes you some merry, merry pictures.
So I just had a thought about some of the dad things that I did over the weekend and realised that I did most of them within a very short period of time on Sunday.
Right.
So I'm thinking about...
Can I just tell you what I'm laughing at for
Absolutely.
a start? I asked what everyone wants to talk about. We had a list. I said, right, that's a lot of stuff. Let's get through it. Now you're introducing something new before I've even got to...
I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to table this and work on it, actually do some work on it before the next time we convene and discuss it in more detail, because it's not going to go very far. It would have been done by now.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I found it amusing. I'm sorry. Please, go ahead.
This is my creative outlet.
Crowbarring content into an already full schedule.
Exactly. That's what I do.
It sounds pretty consistent.
So on Sunday, just past, I did quite a lot of dad stuff in a very short period of time. So to give you an idea, I cleaned the pool, I mowed the lawn, I hung up all our Christmas lights.
Ugh.
Yes. And I filled up both the cars with petrol.
Wow.
Now,
Hang on.
all
That's
of
a
that was
special
done.
task?
Did you do simultaneous? Like I watched Napoleon yesterday, and when they had to ride horses next to each other, like to get messages back to the general, they rode two horses. Did you drive your cars like that? Sorry, I haven't explained that very well. You ride the bugger out of one horse.
Who are you, me?
You ride the bugger out of one horse, and then you jump on the other horse so they can sprint at full tilt.
Right, yeah.
The other one's
so
still
it's like-
running, but it doesn't have the weight of you on it, and then you jump back on the other horse. Anyway, sorry, Wiggins.
Okay, that's all right.
I am you. That's what happens. I've had three days into my holiday, and I turn into Wiggins.
Well, if only we could all have
amazing.
That's right. I recommend it.
That's. I'm going to say well done for the dad productiveness. That's great.
Yep.
Did it make you feel good?
It did. It made me feel really good. And now that I'm part of the Christmas Lights Brigade.
Oh, did you have were you getting shamed by the street?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Neighbor shame, big time, right?
Massive.
Shame.
And not only did I have neighbour shame, when I was sitting on the front lawn pulling out last year's Christmas lights that I had actually put away very neatly,
Yeah. How's that happen?
just one strand, and it was all in a bad place. So there's a photo of me on the street chat sitting on my front lawn doing, like, untying Christmas lights. And my neighbour came up and said, "You must have been so frustrated because 2 years ago you wouldn't have even had any Christmas lights. and you got shamed and bullied into having Christmas lights, and now you're sitting on your front lawn untying them. How did that make you feel?
Yes.
And then I burst into tears. So that was the fifth dad thing I did, was push down all my emotions into my chest until someone said something that really, really got me.
Really?
No.
I want the neighbour to have a Santa ring.
It would make me cry. Sorry, Matt. It would make me cry. It's not that incredible.
No, it's not. It was frustrating. I had to get my wife involved.
Can I ask a dad question? Sorry.
Absolutely.
What's your preferred method of attachment for your Christmas lights to the house?
Here we go.
So I've got gutter hooks. So I've been using gutter hooks, and then I had also previously gone with screws into timber.
Ooh, okay.
So that I can hang the same things in the same spots each year.
On year. You're planning long term. There's no way that Christmas lights are going anytime soon, is what you're saying. You're committing.
Well, no, I would say that at some stage in this next 2 weeks, Lynn's will probably come back with another couple of something else for me to put somewhere.
Right.
Yep.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, Matt, did you have something? I did interrupt you.
No, I was just wondering if you could get a light up Santa Claus that rings a bell saying shame. I think that would be pretty great.
And just have it pointing towards the house and the street with no lights on it. That is a Christmas decoration I'd buy.
That's a great idea.
Now, I don't want to add to the dad shame, and I might be the one outvoted here, which is fine. It's happened before. You were listing off your dad's jobs there, and one of them was fill up both the cars with petrol.
Yep.
Now, is that an individual task where you will go from your house, take the cars, fill them up, and bring them home, rather than it being I'm going out this day.
Right.
That's the day I'll fill up while I'm out. Because that's how I do it in our house. But am I an outlier? Is it a special task that you do on the weekend?
So every now and again, I'll make a special trip to go, because there's a bottle shop that's attached to the petrol station.
This is very dad. Okay, very dad-like. Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. Say no more. Say no more.
That's why you needed 2 trips. Oh dear.
Sorry. You won't.
I have a question.
Yes, go on, please. Mowers.
Do you guys give a shit about how much petrol costs?
Yes. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
Okay. So
do we hunt for the...
Would you make a special trip?
Something which is ostensibly...
Does it contribute to when you get it?
Would you make a special trip to go to a place that has cheaper petrol than somewhere else if it's a substantially different price?
Depends how far.
Yeah, probably not.
So what my question is what is the price differential that would make you drive to a different petrol station?
15 cents.
But hang on, we're going to need to do a hypothetical sum of price difference versus distance.
Okay, yep. Okay, thank you, Ellis.
Are we talking...
Thank you.
Wait.
15 cents and the graph works.
Well, okay, so say they're all in the same... Yep.
The distance expense.
You know what?
15 cents, I think, is...
Rich has the right idea. I challenged Ben and said, what you're asking us is difficult. And Rich just went, the sooner I just give him an answer, the sooner this is over.
Gets into how far away it is versus how cheap it is.
We actually have to worry about the quality of fuel out here as well. We got some dodgy operators who have a lot of water in their petrol, so we have to...
straight from the Murray?
Pretty much. Well, yeah. So we have to be...
The brownest petrol in the state.
They're putting wine. They're just putting wine in their fuel.
Yeah, it's all natural. It's all good. Yeah. But so I won't go to certain places even though I know they're a little bit cheaper because I know the fuel's not great there as well. So
the easiest answer to your question, Ben, is I think about it and I go, oh yeah, I really must get petrol when it's at that point from that place, and then
you drive past. You're already past the station before you actually...
It's not even past. I'm just busy or doing something else and just don't get to it, you know.
Fair.
Fascinating. No, I was talking about my answer. I just realized as I was saying it, I was boring myself. So, as the question's fine. My answer was dumb.
I feel like I'm in a chapter of 2023's Grapes of Wrath. Like we kind of sit here talking.
People traveling. I heard there was I heard tell
From another petrol.
of a town where the petrol was
I didn't know
17
whether to go
cents
forward to
cheaper.
the next town where I knew it was going to be cheaper, but no one could really tell whether the quality would be the same.
Look, can I throw a quick listener question at you? Yeah. A listener in quotation marks.
Okay.
Because I did throw the question out, if anyone had any questions for the pants panel. And again, as has happened a few times, people take the pants bit a bit too literally.
Yes.
Listeners, they're pants of the mind, okay? They're dad pants of the mind and the heart, not necessarily literally pants. We're not literally experts about pants. So you can ask us about hems and cuts and things like that. We're not going to be able to help you. But the question came in, you might have an answer. Zip fly or those metal buttons you find on some pairs of jeans?
Ooh.
Thoughts?
Button fly.
All right, you're a dad.
Heavy.
You're a dad. You've done all your tasks for the day. It's time to go out. You're going to go out down to the RE, maybe get a schnitto, get a beer.
Got to get there early.
Get there nice and early, so you got to
Happy
get
hour.
good spot near the band, the cover band, who's just going to do probably Cold Chisel for most of the night.
Yeah. Maybe some Baby I Love Your Way.
Yeah, with a reggae
Yeah.
kind of
Strange reggae vibe.
well to every song.
Yeah.
It's like the only backbeat he's got.
And then a song about B. Arthur.
Well, if I find out what that band's name is, yes.
Oh, if there's a song about B. Arthur, I probably won't be wearing pants, to be honest. That's it. I want to be.
Maybe the Mountain Goats will do it as a follow up to that song for Dana Plato.
My answer is zip fly.
Yep. Now, do you have something against buttons, or is it just?
No, I don't have anything against buttons. I do. Like sometimes they're a bit awkward. In the end, why are there 4 buttons when I really only need to undo 2? And
So people can't see your packet through the gaps.
well, we'll just have denim there.
I'm with Wiggins on this one. I don't like fumbling around in public toilets with my groin. The quicker that it's out, the quicker it's back in, the quicker I'm
Is
zipped up
my
and
the
gone.
key word there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just too much. It's too much groin work for me, and too much paranoia if it's been done correctly. Like it doesn't take much for those big buttons not to go through.
And if you've had a few at the RE, then it's even worse. When you
Absolutely.
lose dexterity, then problems.
Yeah, good point.
And you need to be washing your hands in these places all the time, and so then you get the wet patches, and it's a slippery slope.
You get runoff from the buttons. Yeah, you're spending more time in that area.
Yeah.
But studies have shown that if you do have a button fly, then you're less likely to get dementia. So,
Well, less like
using the dexterity and thinking about doing up your fly, brain work.
I thought you were going to say something about trapping your scrot.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It causes dementia. Jesus.
Zipper flies cause a lot of things.
If I could just solve everyone's problem and just put Sudokus up in front of the urinals, and everyone would be fine. There'd be no. Anyway, we're getting off the topic here.
All right, so that's from Berkey, my friend Berkey.
I got there eventually, buddy.
I hope that's answered that question. Just err on the side of time is money.
Tracky
for
Dax.
dads.
I think that's the answer. Tracky Dax is just
Tracky Dax.
Tacky ducks, yeah. Yeah.
All right, now Rich,
Ah.
you teased us last episode.
I've been
The
teasing. I
teaser.
feel like it's been so long. I feel like the mojo's gone. But I built a shed.
Shed work.
I did the concreting. I had the shed delivered, and I constructed it entirely single-handedly.
Hang on. Go back to the start. Go back to concept level.
Well, I had an old shed. It had shitty doors, and it was very small. And I was like, right, going to get a new shed. didn't know where I was going to put it. So figured it out eventually, and then I'm still having second thoughts on where it is at the moment, but it's there now. And so
Put a slab down though.
There's a slab.
chuck the slab down. Well, it was only half. Like this is part of the strategic plan. It's only got a half a slab running on from some pavers, so it was a good. So I've only had to do half. But that was
Why has Rich got 4 separate concrete squares in his backyard? He couldn't decide where to put his shed.
That's exactly right.
The other 3 are handball courts now.
We call it down ball around here. It's very weird. I can't. What? Yeah. Don't even start. Don't even start. Don't even.
Down ball.
Down ball.
That's open.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not. Let's close that one back up again. So
Put a slab over that door.
Slab.
Full
Should
stop.
start calling it a slab ball.
So I've got the shed up. I've got the slab, got the shed. Look, to be honest, it wasn't too bad. It's the first time I've ever done anything like a full shed. Like, as I've kind of iterated in the past, pretty handy with the old hex screws and flat pack. Great. But yeah, shed was a bit of a different story, a little bit more hardware-y, I suppose. So, yeah, it turned out all right. Couple little niggles with the doors. That was probably the biggest issue.
What happened with the doors?
Door runners, man, door runners.
Runners, yeah.
No, well, these are the hinge doors, and like, you know, I had them really well placed, and they were looking all right. Like, you know, I had them nice and centered, and everything was looking good. But the way, and I maintain it's an engineering fault more so than my fault, but. Basically, what happens is that at the bottom of the door, there's like a covering gap, like which holds the sheet metal in. And what happens is that actually goes into the door jamb and pulls the hinge out. So the doors actually weren't closing properly at the beginning. So I had to go and do some bit of metal snipping work to try and get so the doors would actually go into the jamb properly, because they're not very well constructed. It was just a bit of a. I'm not sure if it definitely wasn't clear in the instructions, and it was a bit of poor engineering or poor instruction following on my part. But either way,
But you got through it, buddy.
fix it up. It got there, and I got to, you know, I've got my hunky dory little work shed with my pegboard up now, so all my tools sit on the pegboard.
Pegboard.
I haven't turned into a shadow board yet. I'm not quite that far, but
That was my next question.
So tell us which part, how far through construction, percentage-wise, before you had that feeling of, I've got this?
Look, it was a good few weekends worth of work. Mainly because I was hoping to have someone help me, and then that didn't eventuate. So I thought, it's going to be easy with someone else. And then that didn't eventuate, and I just got frustrated and went, fuck it, I'll just finish it myself. But I think that, you know, even once because you construct all the panels and you kind of, it goes together a bit like Lego from there. And I've got to say that probably the part which was I was most trepidatious about would have been the actual pulling it all together thing. Like, I wasn't sure how that was going to pan out, and it wasn't too bad. Like, it's, you know, it's not going to last a cyclone, but it'll last a dust storm. It's all good.
Well, this is obviously, we celebrate this kind of dad work here. I've never put up a shed.
I've constructed something that I could potentially and probably will end up living in at some point in my life. So it's not quite the house, and you know, it was a nice little achievement, and so I'm feeling like it's something that I would definitely be able. I'd feel confident going to a mate's place and helping him put up his shed. Now would be my.
Oh, now you can.
Isn't that the main
you've
reward?
Elevated yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the main reward, because now you can turn up and out dad.
Well, this is the thing.
Whoever else is putting up a shed.
More than that. If I have to put up a shed, which I don't, but I'm sure it's in my future, I'll have to. You're the person to call. Hang on, I'm just going to call me mate Ellis. He's put up a shed.
He's done a shed.
Yeah.
That's
before.
what he's talking about. I'm not calling Wiggins. Wiggins,
No,
you put up a
God,
shed. No. Well, you just.
I've been putting off putting up a shed for 3
Watch
years.
so just watch your door jams. That's my big advice.
Door
Go to the
jam,
slides
that's right,
or
right.
the door jams. You got to be careful of.
If you need to de-escalate nipple wars, then you'll be ringing Wigo, of course.
Yeah, exactly
Indeed.
right.
And also, if you want to know about petrol price.
Well, you didn't tell us anything about that. You just
You
didn't
said,
ask.
You just said
A,
you feel
and,
yeah.
15 cents.
But now I've got a dilemma. I've got to try and fit in my many barbecues. I've now.
Why do you have many barbecues?
Hang on. Sorry. Just put a pin in barbecues for a second. I have one question about the shed. I have a shed-related question.
Okay.
Can I get a slab measurement, please, Ellis? What's the actual measurement of the slab?
So the actual slab, because as I say, it was abutting a diagonal bit of paving.
Yeah.
And so the slab measurement was, what are we at? 220, so 2,200 mil by 3, but it was a triangle by 3 meters.
Now, can
So
I?
it was it was 18 bags of concrete. Of cement, sorry.
geez,
18
really?
yeah, no,
Yes.
concrete, yeah. So I got the premix stuff. Let me tell you, found out very quickly, and that was, I only had my wheelbarrow to do it, and found out very quickly that it's much easier doing it one bag at a time than trying to do 3 or 4 in one go.
Now,
Yes. Okay, so there you go.
another
There's
bit of advice.
number one. There's number one. One bag at a time.
Bag at a time.
there's
bit
the
of
dad
water,
advice.
chuck it in.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to downplay this at all, or lessen the achievement. But you have gone on to say that you're now concerned you can't fit all your barbecues in there. Does that mean that you didn't measure what you need?
Oh, no. Sorry, I should clarify. I'm not trying to fit the barbecues into the shed. I don't know where to fit the barbecues around the shedding.
Oh, I
area.
see.
So,
Okay.
as in,
All right.
the rest of the backyard now needs. I've got a U-Boot looking shed. The rest of the yard needs a bit of work now. So that's what I'm just
Right.
trying to come up with the best way.
You say barbecues. How many barbecues are you trying to Tetris around the shed here?
Yeah, I was going to say, is this like some battlement? Like it's built based on an ancient castle, and instead of like lookouts, it's just a barbecue on every station?
Pretty much. I've got 3 barbecues, an outdoor gas burner, and an outdoor wok burner, and then the fire pit type thing, so which doubles as another barbecue. So, yeah. So I will be getting rid of one of the barbecues, but the other 2. So there's a offset smoker and a Weber Q, which I.
Jesus. Ellis has dadded up.
Yeah, I know.
That's like-
You're a Max dad.
He's just had a Super Mario mushroom, and he's now like super dad.
Well, do you know what he's
built a
doing?
shed.
Rainbow
He's
dad.
put a slab down. He's built a shed.
He's dad planting.
Squirrel dad.
He's dad planting, right? He's going, I'm just having everything I need here. You need anything, you come here to me.
Well, I think that's, well, there is a bit of that, but there's also the old saying: when you don't have a personality, you start smoking meats as a replacement. So that's kind of
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to get a smoking fridge.
Yeah.
Can your next project be some sort of mega barbecuing station where you just have each different barbecue kind of set up along,
That's
in a
pretty much
row?
the plan. The next project I'm hoping to do is an outdoor kitchen workbench, which will help facilitate the barbecue area. So hopefully, if it's what I've kind of got in mind at the moment, there's some nice redwood slabs available around here locally, pretty good price. So I'll get a couple of those. That can be my bench, and that'll kind of be the centerpiece, and I'll work the barbies in around that. So see how we go. We'll see how we go.
Redwood slabs. That could be the title.
I like that we've got ongoing things to come back in a month and check in on too. Oh, not that a month is going to do it, but we'll at least see where your head's at.
I've got doors to paint before then, and possibly a laundry to build. So we'll see how we go.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Wow.
We're in the dad wake here, fellas.
no, I don't think so.
Yeah. I painted some doors
Had any
Yeah,
tips?
I
Any
cut
tips?
some bushes
Dad tips.
today.
Come on. What tips you got, Wiggins? Did you take them off the hinges or do
All
them
right,
in place?
so painting doors, are they just internal bedroom doors?
Yeah, interior doors. Yeah.
All right. Then you have to use a roller.
Yeah.
You've got to use a roller. I've been told on numerous occasions that you should use a brush for a door. No, do not.
No,
Get a good
no,
quality
no.
roller and roll the shit out of it.
Cool.
Do you take it off its hinges, though, we go?
Absolutely.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm not going to do that. I've done it in place.
But you're hinge ready, Ellis. You're prepared for hinge. All the work you've done on
I've been
the
battle
shed.
scarred by hinges. I can't look at them anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, too many titles, Buckley. Battle scarred by hinges is pretty something too.
I don't like. It's getting late. I don't really want to deep dive too far emotionally into that because I don't want to open things up that.
Stop saying open. It's freaking
Don't
me out.
utilise hinges.
Stop opening things.
Stop it. Just make me think hinge.
Oh no! No. It's just I don't like. I feel like the topic's swaying one way and then the other, and
Stop it.
We really.
Yeah.
All right, there was one more little piece of content you flagged with us.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, what was that? Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Well, we have, as we've talked about previously, our son is graduating in huge air quotes preschool and moving on to middle school. Very exciting.
Precious memories you'll definitely remember in your adult life.
But we had the meeting at the school, like to introduce to see, like learning who the teachers were and stuff like that. And the principal comes rushing up to me. And this is an explainer brag, so just give me a moment. But the principal comes rushing up and says, "Oh, your daughter's amazing. She's doing such great work, and she does like a special reading group with her and all this kind of stuff. Is George going to be the same?" And there's this moment of, well, probably not. But, is there anything that you've noticed, or has there been any feedback from teachers around like expectations from one child to another and how similar or different they are? And because, I'm not flagging the little fella off or anything like that, but I just think he's going to be a very different kid to what my daughter is, which is what you expect. They're two very different personalities.
That's right. It's odd to assume they'll be similar by default, isn't it?
Well, I think so. And I think, there was a fair degree of kind of tongue-in-cheek involved in the statement. But just is there anything that your families have gone through with, as I say, sibling expectations, moving through that kind of thing, or is it all been pretty, no, they just do their own thing and everyone just accepts that?
Well, the issue in our household isn't outside. It isn't the outside. Like it won't be teachers. It's the child herself, the eldest, putting her expectations on her sister. That's what we find.
Oh, that's interesting.
So she's giving her sister annoying advice.
Well, she's moving.
You've got to try harder when you're at high
I was going to say, so the
like
moving
me.
to high school thing, is that?
Yeah. Here's some advice. And you're like, that's not helping. That's not helping. That's not good advice.
No, you need to preface that. That's called bad advice.
Yeah, because basically her advice is be a different person. There's that kind of advice.
Yeah.
Don't be
It's not
yourself.
helpful. Yeah, be like me. And we're like, no, don't be like her.
No, wait.
Remember what you were like in year 7? That wasn't fun.
Yeah. I don't think there was any direct kind of, one was like this, so the other will be like it. It's more, it is a bit more like between them themselves. And I have had to say way more than I thought I ever would, that remind them that they're not the same age.
Right.
And so, like, why are you saying that? He's not the same age as you. You're 3.5 years older.
Yeah.
Why are you expecting him to have the same ability at this that you have now? And vice versa. The youngest one getting frustrated they can't do something the older one does.
Yeah.
You're going, but why? Why don't you, surely you remember you're not the same age as him. And, at your age, he wasn't necessarily doing this. So it's kind of internal rather than the the external, I think.
Cool. Wiggins, you got anything with the lads? And then Rosie, is that all? Because she's a bit younger. Does it?
She's a bit younger because there's that. What is it? 4 years difference between Louis and Rose, but Harves and Lou are only 2 years apart. So there's
quite close,
there's definitely been a. There's been some correlation in that, both like Harvey was a good swimmer and was school captain and had a lot of those sort of achievement type things happen, and everyone looked at Louis and the same things have happened, right? So Louis is a good swimmer and has become school captain and is good at public speaking, and but that's probably a better question for Lynn's, really, like from an academic point of view.
But even so, is that like a different pressure as well when you've got the parent at the school as well?
I think there's definitely more pressure from us, and I say us in being that Lynn's she's a teacher at the school, so she has a certain expectation of how the kids are going to behave and what their expectations are. So I think she holds them to a different standard in many ways because she is also being held to that standard as well.
Right.
Interesting.
That's a pretty high bloody standard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we've had. I'll tell you off air. No, that's
might be a good place to stop.
That's some really good advice. No, I think it's interesting. Like the sibling thing, I think is really interesting. And as I say, I don't think I think the teachers kind of say it, and I've said it kind of tongue in cheek. I know myself as well, but I've never really thought about it in a serious way, like whether it's kind of been any kind of influence. But I can see, the influence they have upon each other. Interesting. And I think it would be interesting to see how the high school girls go, Maddie. That's a really curious one because it's such a different kind of dynamic by the time you get up there as well.
They're going to the same school, obviously.
Yeah, they're at the same school, but it's Violet will give advice and Noelle will say, "Shut up." Basically, like, I don't want to hear it. And then Violet goes, "Well, I'm trying to help." And you're like, "Violet, when you were in year 7, you thought everyone was stupid except people in year 7. She was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, but I'm older now." And I'm like, "Yeah, but she's not." Like you said, Buckland, it's like, yeah, but I don't know. Year 7s think they're all smart and they get their advice from year 7s. And then never work out why things don't resolve themselves as they thought. And I say this to students all the time, like, all right, so you're in year 11. Would you take advice from a year 9? No. Well, when you're in year 9, you thought year 9s knew everything. And you wouldn't take advice from year 7s when you're in year 9. But when you're in year 7, you thought, no one understands anything except people in my year, and you got advice from them. It's just how it goes. Yeah. We're all the same age going, how do I put up a shed? That's how it works.
Get to year 7. Hey, what age are you? I'm that age too. Tell me how to live.
That's right. That's what they're like. Oh, I've got a problem with my friendship group. How do I do my taxes? Well, I asked the teachers and I asked my parents. They're stupid. Their ideas were stupid. But another 12-year-old, they've got a great idea. Yeah. Some convoluted trick. That's how they work.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not painting a door or putting up a shed. I'm not painting a door or putting up a shed.
Or put up a shed.
But I'm happy to talk about it, and I'm happy to hear about your achievements because this is what we do.
I'm scared to put up a shed.
Honestly, I'm not even. I'm not lying. It sat in panels for like 2 weeks, just staring at me every day, just going, "You're going to put this up, and this thing's going to fall down.
Not on your
and then it's going to
lawn,
blow down, and then it's going to fly off over your neighbour's house, and it's going to cause destruction in the entire neighbourhood, and everyone's going to laugh at you and say, "What a dumb." Look at that dumb fuck who can't even put up a shed.
Santa will be there with his bell, Ellis. Shame. Shame.
But hang on, there's a bit of fun involved in a family sitting down to have dinner and then a shed just coming through their roof. Surely.
Yeah, a big storm comes, blows it all up in the air and puts it down.
Property of Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
With 4 barbecues trailing behind it for some reason.
all tied to, tethered to it.
My barbecues are the anchors. That's the only thing holding it up.
Oh, so it's not a slab. You just laid all the barbecues down.
It's like Twister.
yeah.
All the barbecues twirling around in the sky.
Tell me a more beautiful
I thought you
sight,
meant the
though.
game for a second. It took me. I was like,
Left hand, Weber.
left hand Weber, right
Right
foot,
hot plate.
burner.
Right hot plate, medium.
You left it on.
Oh, you could
Left
cook.
foot gas bottle.
You could cook dinner that way, Alice. Just spin the wheel,
twister, yeah.
spin the twister, and be like, right, you're cooking this roast.
You're
on
cooking
Weber.
spaghetti on an open flame grill.
All right, lads. It's hot. It's humid. I need to go and find something cool to drink.
So fucking odd.
Next month, I'm sure we'll probably talk about how our dad Christmases went.
Yeah, Mary Hammer.
Yes.
Mary Hammers.
Yes.
Alice, have you gone pre-ham yet? I know we're about to wrap up. Sorry about
No, that's okay. Tease the ham.
3 hams deep.
You're not three hams deep.
It's the 6th of December.
I was going to talk about. I didn't even get to talk about
three.
the ham economy.
That's the title. Has to be the title.
The false ham economy. thinking that buying hams is going to be cheaper because it's $8 a kilo by the leg, but $30 a kilo at the deli. So you buy a leg and it lasts a week. You're like, fuck. I just went for $36 worth of ham in a week. What the fuck is wrong with the people in this house? Why am I having heart palpitations? Shit.
Yeah, right.
Why is my shed getting good?
Why do I smell salt?
Yeah, why is there so much salt?
Your family's going to be pink like a flamingo daddy's been for 4 weeks.
Why is the toilet, every time I go to the toilet, it's fizzy?
Oh.
Both
So your
sides.
blood pressure's
Alright.
way down, but your nitrate levels are through the roof.
Yeah, the nitrate levels are mad.
Let's just make that clear again for the record. It is the 6th of December that we're recording this. Richard is into his 3rd Christmas ham of the season.
Hamonomics.
Hamonomics, everybody.
I'm ahead.
Oh,
Is that book going to be out by Christmas, by the way? So people can get that?
Hamonomics. Do you only have... So you use the same bag?
Yeah, did you find your handbags this year? Anyway,
Yeah, I found the handbag.
Ellis...
I put them in a safe place this year. I was in charge of the handbag.
So you've got multiple bags.
I got 3 handbags.
man, this man is the ultimate dad at the moment. He's sheds, barbecues,
cool.
and he's in charge of the handbags.
He's stock.
It sounds like he could almost have a ham on each barbecue going at once at this rate.
Buckland, that is the best idea I've ever had in my life. I'm going to smoke one, I'm going to grill one, I'm going to open flame one.
Yeah, he's going to buy 3 more hams.
3 more. I'll be 6 hams deep
You'll be,
before Christmas Eve.
you'll be 6 hams deep before the 12 days of Christmas start.
Oh, shit.
On that slightly nauseating note, we're going to leave you. Thanks, dads.
Thanks, boys.
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful.
Let's talk again soon.
Thank you all.
This is an Angry Chimp podcast.